BRBTV with another episode of Terrific TV Toys, focusing this time on the Mego Wonder Woman, the 8-inch version of the Mego Wonder Woman. There also was a 12-inch version of Wonder Woman that Mego made. You'll see that, my copy of that, in another video. But this is the 8-inch version that we're going to talk about for this installment. This was the first one of 4 Supergals released in 1973, 1974. Just before the Wonder Woman TV series starring Linda Carter began to air. And so I'm sure that as this gal continued to sit on store shelves, that she was sold to lots of fans of that Wonder Woman TV series of the 1970s too. And then she kind of went away when Mego released its 12-inch version and started marketing that really heavily. But this is still a fan favorite, and she's lovely, and we're going to take a close look at her. The Wonder Woman Mego that I had as a little girl, which is this gal right here, was first released in Christmas 1973, and the version of this Wonder Woman Mego that I have is part of that original first wave. There was another wave later, a few years after that, that had straight arms, whereas mine are articulated arms and hands. And there were a few other differences with that second wave too that I'll show you. I'm using this book as reference by Benjamin Holcomb, Mego 8-inch Superheroes World's Greatest Toys, which is a great resource, along with megomuseum.com. I get a lot of good information from those guys too. So this Wonder Woman, this has a, I guess, kind of a translucent yellow tiara painted on her head, on her forehead. And the later version that came out a few years later had a more opaque, brighter yellow tiara. And then that version had lighter blue eyes. And these look pretty light in this, this daylight that I have coming in the window here, but they're actually a little darker than the version that was released later. You can see the style of cuffs that I have on this one. There were 3 variations in the cuff design, which I found kind of interesting too. You can see it in this book. Mine is the 3rd of those variations. And then also my Wonder Woman, it was just the silk screened on boots. There was a version that had actually removable red plastic boots. So everything is silk screened on or painted on this version of my Wonder Woman. And actually, even though I love how my Batgirl Mego has all these removable parts and it makes it funner to kind of dress her and play with her as a little girl, but I love the fact that everything painted on this one, you couldn't lose anything, so she is completely intact with how she was when I was a little girl, you know, and I love that about her because I didn't lose anything with her, which is wonderful. So yeah, she looks exactly like is pictured in this book. There was a variation though too, I'll note, that had larger stars on her blue, the blue part of her outfit, but that's not this version. And her hair has stood up pretty well, just like with my Batgirl. I can comb it a little bit, being the girl that I am. Can comb it, and it's got that single curl that I mentioned as I talked about the Batgirl figure too. I mean, basically I can comb it a little neater than that. But even though there's been nothing holding it down on her head, after all these years, since 1974 or so, when I would have gotten her, this single curl has remained. You know, the single curl and the style of her hair. So that's cool. So yeah, she's in pretty good shape. I'm really happy with her. I'm glad that I have her after all these years. She's beautiful. I also have the 12-inch Mego Wonder Woman that I'll show you in another part of the series.